Hi students, today I want to show you some rules on which cases we have to begin a word with a capital letter in Spanish. There are fewer rules or fewer cases for Spanish language for beginning a word with a capital. For example, in English we begin always the word I, right, the subject pronoun, with a capital, right, with a capital I. Also, languages and nationalities always begin with capitals. However, in Spanish, all those words do not necessarily need to begin with a capital letter unless they begin the sentence, right? So here I will show you some cases, which are the rules on when a word needs to begin with a capital letter in Spanish, okay? So let's begin with the most common one, right? The given names, right? In Spanish we call that nombres propios. Nombres propios. This means nombres means names and propios means own, right? Of somebody's own. So this would mean literally own names, right? Or given names. So given names in Spanish always begin with a capital letter, the same as in all other languages that I know at least, right? So Santiago will always begin with an S, right? Santiago. Juan. Pedro. Yes? Also, given names include names of countries like España for Spain or Estados Unidos, Estados Unidos for United States, right? Uruguay, Uruguay, this is my country, Uruguay. And given names also include the names of institutions, right? So when we refer to the church, right? To the church, we always write it with a capital I, right? Iglesia, right? Because it's a universal institution. This usually is written with a capital I, the church, Iglesia. Because when you talk about the church, la iglesia, you're specifically talking of that institution whose name is la iglesia, okay? However, if you want to refer to iglesia, like in general, an institution, a church, right? Without speaking specifically of the church, then you can use iglesia or iglesias with a lowercase I, okay? And countries are given names, right? So they always begin with capital. Also, the Earth, right? The planet Earth, the Moon, those are given names. So if we talk about the Earth in Spanish, that is la tierra, tierra for Earth. Since tierra is the given name of our planet, it also begins with a capital T always, right? It's a given name, nombre propio. Same as Jupiter, Mars, right? So the names of the planets also are capital given names. So they also begin with a capital letter. And so like that we have to generalize all the given names will always begin with capitals, right? Given names are not exclusively names from the people, from persons and animals. All given names in general. Same as titles, a title of a film, a title of a book, right? That is also written with capitals. For example, if we want to say the film La Guerra de los Mundos, the War of the Worlds, that will also be written with capitals every word. The other rule is the acronyms. In Spanish we call that siglas. siglas. Those are acronyms in Spanish. 2 syllables. Siglas. Acronyms are always written with capital letters, same as in English, right? For example, ONU, right? In Spanish you say ONU. ONU. This means Organización de las Naciones Unidas, right? Organization of the, sorry, yes, Organización for organization, Nations United. So this is the United Nations, the UN, right? Also, EEUU means Estados Unidos or USA. Then we have OMC, la OMC, the OMC. This is the WTO, the World Trade Organization, right? Organización Mundial de Comercio. Yes? And another rule for writing always a word with capital at the beginning is this: the words with special institutionalized meaning. And I really don't know the name for this rule. I just invented this name, right? But what I mean with this is these words like law, state, right? That refer to an institution, right? That is universal, that is very important, and always need to begin with a capital letter. Always, no matter where the word is standing in the sentence. So the word for derecho, when referring to law, to the law, right, always begins with D. The word derecho has another meaning, means right or upright, yes, or ahead, right? But when the word derecho has any of those other meanings, it does not have to begin with a D, with a capital D. Only when derecho refers to the law, then it always needs to begin with a capital. Another example is the word estado, right? Estado, state, the state, right? When you refer of the state, yes? El estado, estado always begins with a capital E, right? We're talking about a national state, a country, right? When the word state refers to country, it begins with a capital. When the word state refers to the state of mind, to the state of how something is standing, or if something is fit or broken or not, that case of the meaning of state does not have to begin with a capital, okay? So, well, these are the rules I just remember. I think these are the only cases of words that need to begin with capitals in Spanish, always. And of course, I think I don't have to mention it, but always when at the beginning of a sentence, right, that word always begins with a capital. But that's the same in English and probably in all other languages, right? So the first letter of every new sentence, that always begins with a capital. And these are all the rules then for beginning with capitals, right? So just keep that in mind for whenever you have to write these cases. You always need to begin with capital letter. So that's all for today. I see you next class. Bye.